Hey everybody, how is it going? How's it going? One second. No, Mimi Jean's the wiener. I'm sorry. Sorry. I know it's super disappointing and just ruins your whole year, but it's okay. There's still another chance tomorrow. Anyways, how's it going? Where's my looking for my brush while we're waiting on some people to come in here. Oh, it's probably out there. Do you have the brush? Hey, Roxy. Hey, who knows? Thank you. Oh, man. Oh. Hey, Rhiannon. Hopefully, Valerie is all right. She was in here last night and she said, I've been trying to text her and I haven't heard from her since. So she was saying she didn't feel good last night and all that, and I haven't heard from her. So I just got out of the shower. Wanted to get that out of the way. Then I had a reading to do for somebody, and been just chilling, really, kind of. Hey, Luminous. I kept trying to post a short in response to something that Cher from Voices Behind the Wall had shared, like, and it wouldn't post. So I just took that as a sign from the universe that not to post it, but we are going to talk about it. But at that time, I wasn't as calm. So I've calmed down. Took a shower, took some time to think on things and what I want to say. I'm picking up these cards from my reading I just did. If you're wondering what that noise is, if you guys haven't been noticing, the orchestrated attack on me and Fred by several channels as an attempt to try to change like the narrative of Summer Wells' case, then I guess you've, I don't know, either been blessed to be spared the drama and the bullshit, or you're just not paying attention. But there's a few channels like working together, and it includes Share, Ryan Finds Truth, Curse with Curiosity, Carrie Moody, Lisa Kay, Sinister, and Crystal. All the people with like no integrity of the community, basically. That's not doesn't include, that's not all including, but that's a good bit of them. And they're purposely like going after, like constantly going after and putting stuff like bullshit out about, oh yeah, 6 Up, but she doesn't count because she's just obsessed. And same with actually Curse with Curiosity. She's really obsessed as well. Cher has just no freaking integrity. I mean, she does not care. I mean, has the same MO since I first saw her on here, since the Chris Watts case. She's always taking the wrong side. She's always doing that, going against the grain. Oh, thank you so much for the Cash App. Who knows? Thank you. That's really sweet. Thank you. Hey, Roxy. Oh, we're fine. But Jody or Cher, like, she did this shit the last time. Like, once I had information from somebody who very credible who worked at Hawkins County for several years, over 20 some years, she wanted to just shit all over that for some reason and make it into some weird conspiracy. Like, it was the strangest thing. But now she's like dick riding Andy Bernard and Ryan Finds Truth and Don Wells, like, at the same time. They're having a big old orgy over there. But they're all obviously the wrong side of the tracks type of people. And she's purposely like sharing things. Like, first of all, she shared something that 6Up put about that Fred was on the road June 15th, 2021. What is that? I mean, duh. What's that even mean? He's not, the only person that's denying it is Andy Bernard. That's why we're focusing on him. Like, they keep wanting to change and deflect by just stupid shit. Like, stupid, like, just stuff that doesn't even say anything. Yeah, Fred, and it talks about him being on the road pretty much every single day here. I mean, that's no secret. We talk about it every day on here about how he saw Andy Bernard on the road. Like, obviously, he had to be on the road to see Andy Bernard on the road. It's Andy Bernard that's denying it. And instead of just like, they want to be like, distract and be like, well, Fred Hill was on the road. It's like, what the hell? That's not, are you serious right now? That's how you make your points? It's just distracting and deflecting. You don't actually think logically. You want to just confuse and just say some random thing and then put up, like, then she put up some post saying, out of nowhere, which I don't freaking, she attacks me. I don't freaking just come after her. And she posts some shit about how I picked a good one or something. Great one. I picked a good one. He's being investigated for Summer Wells and then for 2 murders. And I'm like, really? Says who? Says you? Because I haven't heard that from anybody except the phone call me and Fred put out ourselves in a private conversation where we were talking about how a guard was giving him shit who was not even, he was a CO, he was not even a law enforcement at all, like a actual, like didn't work for, wasn't like a sheriff or a police officer, just it was a corrections officer just effing with Fred because of all the internet bullshit. And she knows this. Cher knows this because she's been around for it all. But she instead doesn't choose the high road. She chooses the road of more clicks, likes, views, whatever she can get at that time. She does not care to have integrity. Obviously, we're talking about somebody who's been convicted of animal abuse and neglect. So how are you going to sit here and say things that have no value and have no merit with zero proof, no convictions? Fred is 400 miles away from East Tennessee right now. They let him move out of the state. He recorded for law enforcement for 3 days and has worked with them several times with information and showed them different areas and stuff. Don't you, I mean, where there's no charges on Fred whatsoever, you're the one convicted of these things. You're the one that has convictions. Fred is not convicted of these things. You're the one that has animal abuse charges and you were convicted. And then something about you, what was it about you and a cat rescue? Aren't you supposed to stay away from animals? Like, are you even supposed to have pets, Cher? Do you think people forget this stuff?
Somebody said she was throwing out cash outs for a blind cat, something like that.
A blind cat foundation? Yeah, she's freaking a convicted animal abuser. She can't, I wouldn't think she could have animals. She's convicted of this stuff, but she wants to say this stuff about Fred that isn't even, it's just like speculation. And then everything I do, guys, I swear, today somebody shows me, oh, look what Cher's now posting resin projects. You've got to be fucking kidding me. You have got to be kidding me now. These people, every time, once I started doing tarot, suddenly they all became into like tarot and all that type of horoscope shit. Now, Cher was always into like ghosts and stuff. I knew about that, but just like Six Up, copying every fucking thing I do, but yeah, I'm the worst person in the world. Everything they do is like their inspiration they get from me. Now her husband is selling resin projects. She posted a day after she makes a post about me talking shit about me. But yet, obviously, I inspire you in some way, bitch, because everything you do is somehow connected to me. All you people do. I wouldn't think so, Tammy. She's convicted by a court of law. So I don't want to hear her excuses. She could say her excuses all she wants, but you are convicted. Fred is not. Like, I don't know. It's like mic drop. You have nothing, bitch. None of you guys have nothing. You guys are all purposely working together. You should be ashamed of yourself. And what are you going to do when it comes out? Right now, you've already got proof that Andy was on the road without a doubt, and you're refusing to even look at that or question it just because of some, like, what? Who's paying you, or who's, like, what is your motive to try to put out this shit and share all this stuff like Six Up and Curse with Curiosity and them? What is your motive? You always are on the wrong side. Always supporting the bad people. Every freaking time it doesn't fail. Is it because birds of a feather flock together?
It don't matter where convictions is, she's convicted.
What's that matter about where her convictions are? She's still a convicted animal abuser. Oh, what you're saying? Because she's convicted in the United States, that she should be allowed to have a in Canada? I don't even know how her ass got in Canada. Yeah, a whole new set of teeth. Then she freaking collected money and money for a marriage she never did. She really is gonna, and took off and left her kids behind in the United States. So it's in the title, TJ, and if you just listen, it will come out. We're talking about voices behind the wall. It's been constantly trying to get my attention. And she's mad because I won't freaking have anything to do with her. This bitch tries to always come around like every great once in a while, or send me a little like on social media, or send a little message or a little comment. I don't like you, Cher. You're fake. You have no integrity. You're an animal abuser. Do you not understand that? Just because these other fakes will hang out around you and chill with you just to fit in doesn't mean I do. That's not what I do. I've never been like that, and that's why you don't like me. I mean, you freaking sent Don Wells sexual pictures. I mean, mic drop once again. Really? I could go on and on and on. You took my. What are you talking about, Cora? I paid that that was a loan. What the fuck are you talking about? It's been paid back for years now. You need to get, for 2 years that shit's been paid back. Get over it. And he's not a convicted child abuser. He was never. Were you convicted of child abuse? He was never convicted of child abuse. Cher was the one convicted. Yeah, and the quitting thing like she did. She's been like that always. So okay, so I was talking to Fred about what the child thing they were talking about. They're talking about that Virginia, when Fred had that whole incident. Once again, this is what they're talking about, that they want to pull up on Fred and call him a child abuser. Okay, so it's that incident in Virginia, once again, when the gun went off in the house, when he woke up and there was a gun in his face. He grabbed his gun and shot at the person. It was his sister, who was tripping on some kind of amphetamine or whatever, bath salts or something, and was in a psychotic type of, I don't even like to talk about the family stuff, but that's what happened. There was no kids in the house. The kids were in a different the house next door when it happened. And so with that, they got the child endangerment charges. I don't know if I don't think he was ever convicted of that, but it wasn't when the kids were taken, he wasn't even he wasn't even there. He was in jail and stuff. Really, on Precious Chaos? Fred was on the road June 15th. Yes, we've never said that. Said he wasn't. Where is he a suspect of murder? Where do you have proof of that? Nobody's copying me. Well, Cher's doing resin right now. So all of a sudden it happens every time. Who said nobody wants to be you? I never said that. And I don't know about owning anything. What the fuck do you mean? Where is he a suspect of murder? Do you want to come up here and tell me and show me proof where he's a suspect of murder? Because you have no proof of that. He's up here in Indiana on Precious Chaos. Are you serious? Nobody said anything about somebody wanting to be me. I never said that. But these people keep copying everything I freaking do, so I must be doing something right. They are copying me. And it's very hard to ignore. Yeah, Fred was on the road to see Andy Bernard on the road. I mean, obviously. No, Fred's the difference is none of these other people are denying being on the road. Nobody else is except Andy Bernard.
We need to pull up that picture one day of George on the road in that red truck because the red truck keeps coming up. He was never on my camera, but I wonder what date that is. When he's behind David Bays going in.
Oh.
Because the red truck keeps coming up. Red truck, red truck, red truck. And he's definitely in a red truck. And it ain't a small truck.
Oh, thank you, Shadra. And then this whole thing also about Fred saying, which comes from that. Who was that? That Joe Popowich or whatever. She's been like a big like troll since the beginning, and always like has like a big bad reputation. She goes by Just Me now. She goes by a lot of different names, but she was going around saying Fred said that Andy was driving Jody Sue's mom's truck on the 15th on the road. No, he fucking did not say that ever. Show me where he said that. These people can't show me any of this stuff, and it's just irritating because they keep saying it and nobody is freaking. I mean, yeah, some people are, but like the majority is just being quiet and not freaking calling them out on it and just sitting there watching this stuff, you know?
The first time
like, how do you sit there? You guys, how do these people sit there knowing that they heard the call of Pruitt saying he has talked to Andy several times about being on the road that day, but nobody wants to question about it. They don't want to acknowledge it, and they want to go back about, say Fred was on the road. Duh, Fred was on the road. That's how you saw him.
I mean, just like Jody's mom's truck, the first time I ever seen it was the same day I broke down in my yellow truck. It's like almost, I don't know, 3 weeks or something.
You saw somebody driving it. You saw her driving it after Summer went missing. That's what we're talking about.
Somebody had said
it was Jody that was driving her mom's truck after Summer went missing. These people are getting everything mixed up that has been said.
But there was rumors that I'd heard that Jody Sue's son, Damien, and Jody Sue's brother was supposedly in that truck earlier on the 15th, but they didn't say where at.
And that was rumors you talked about recently. That was not at the beginning of they're trying to say you were saying that since the beginning.
I know.
Which never was said, and they can't show me anywhere where this was ever said. So he lived there. He has to be on the road. He's going to be on the road. He was a mile down the road. Andy Bernard was right there. I mean, his house, 125 is right there. But Andy's saying he was actually all over that road.
Andy's driveway is the second driveway on the left.
Yeah.
Going in.
Yeah. So his is really close to where Summer lived. But Fred's, a mile down the road. All I'm saying is nobody else is denying being on the road. What? My daughter's right here. What do you mean I didn't raise my home? My daughter's here. Magic dance. You're kidding, right? Oh, right. Yeah, let's go make excuses. I didn't raise my own kids. My daughter's here, Magic Dance. You need to learn. These people don't know what they're talking about. My daughter's 16 and she's still living at home. What do you mean I didn't raise my kids? What the fuck are you talking about? I have one kid, too. My kids. I have one. See, I mean, they just get it all freaking wrong and they want to change everything. It's okay, brown-eyed girl. It's okay. But, it's kind of very, very different circumstances how, you literally, what, didn't she just like completely leave these animals like to starve? But we're going to make it, she's never taken ownership for that either. She blames it on her sister every fucking time. 11:11. Didn't she take off and leave her kids when they were still underage? I'm pretty sure she left her underage children for a man. So she has no room to talk about anything. And it's crazy that she even has the goal to even mention this stuff. And none of these people, none of them will freaking come up here and ever show me anything that they're talking about, ever. They would come up here and yell and call you a liar and scammer, but they would never show anything. Like, and everything they say is not even the truth. Taking money for a car I don't have anymore? What do you mean? You mean borrowing money for a vehicle I don't have anymore? That I paid back 2 years ago? That was offered to me. I never even asked for. I put the phone calls out, but people want to change that reality too and make me like this horrible person, which is not, I mean, people can't stand for some reason that I'm a good person. They can't freaking stand it that I stand by what I stand for something and they don't. Sherry, you have been on the wrong side of every case before I even started YouTube. I saw you were on the wrong side. Weren't you like trying to like message like Chris Watts and stuff and being all buddy with Chris Watts, the child killer? How weird. I mean, it just all fitting. You're always with these child killers. Like, what is your fascination for child killers? You are really sick. You were all over Chris Watts. All up on that. Trying to contact him and be besties with him. Then you're all up on Don Wells' dick. Then now it's Andy Bernard's. Then Quentin's unalivers hurt the wrong side of that whole thing. Like, what is wrong with you? You need to deal with your whatever your inner demons or whatever happened to you in childhood, because you are putting your bullshit on the wrong people. And unfortunately for them, it's hard to escape the truth. The truth is going to be right in front of their face, and she won't freaking. None of these people, I already know, are going to apologize at all. Because what's their problem? I mean, what is their real problem with me anyways? What they're mad because Fred worked with police to try to help with Summer Wells and find answers? Are you serious right now? I've put out my calls and emails I sent proving that the whole working with law enforcement thing is correct. I don't know if it's working with law, however you want to say it. It's not like he works for him. It's like got a job there or something. It's just that he agreed to record for them, and he agreed to show them places, and he did ask his opinion on things. They asked a lot of people stuff back there, but Fred went and took them different places, and they pulled him out of jail constantly to talk to him. When he was in jail, they were always pulling him out to talk to him about Summer Wells. Always. And about Andy Bernard and all these other characters. And Don Wells and all of them is all they would. They were never interrogating Fred about Summer. So your stuff that you're putting that he's a suspect in Summer Wells, when you don't have any type of proof of that beyond, oh, everybody's a suspect. Okay, so everybody's a suspect. I don't care. It doesn't matter if you call him a suspect or not to me. What matters to me is like, not sitting there and with the truth right in front of you and refusing to see it and trying to alter it. And then not only that, you're trying to alter the public's view. Cher's father was in prison for unaliving. He is an unaliver. So, I mean, she has a lot of childhood wounds, and it's obvious, but she doesn't need to freaking take it out on everybody around her. Yeah, these people she's so smart. Yeah, they just let Fred come up to Indiana, and he's a suspect for 2 murders and Summer's disappearance. Okay. So I just don't understand it. She doesn't want to be judged for her father's, sins and her bullshit, and her leaving her children when they're underage. I'm pretty sure at least one of them were still underage when she left them. I'm 90% sure on that. And then she's going to freaking judge us for what? We're trying to do the right thing, Cher, and you're mad? What? Are you not getting the attention you want or something? Are you afraid I'm going to take some kind of attention away from you? Maybe if you were on the right side of these cases, you would actually do some good and, but you're always on the wrong side. How are you ever going to how are you ever going to get anywhere doing you're basically a joke channel. Because you always support the wrong side every time. It doesn't fail. For anybody who's been around for some years and seen, she's always doing that. She likes to go against the grain because she knows that gets her views. She has no integrity. That's somebody who has no integrity and just cares about the views. But she goes around, supporting, being the biggest supporters of these review channels so they won't attack her. She's like the biggest tragedy pimp there is. Literally. She literally uses these kids' tragedies and makes money off of it, and sits there, makes money off these people's on these people's misfortunes. Children missing and being unalived, and she's supporting the evil ones, like the Don Wells of these people. I mean, she's got proof Andy Bernard's on the road, and she just still doesn't want to hear it, Like, come on. If she has to do it by being on the wrong side of the evil. they know where Fred is and was, and he's not the one lying about his whereabouts, is what I know. And she knows that. Cher knows that, but, and sharing, like, and she also knows that Six Up's one of my biggest, like, fans, like, the biggest, she knows, but she still supports her and goes in her chats. Well, one of my biggest, like, she's obsessed with me, and that's her whole life, is that just about me, and Cher's, like, cheering on, just like she was over in Sinister's chat, of all people, guys. She's one of Sinister's only mods. Who's Sinister? One of two mods of Sinister. You've got to be kidding me. You guys know who Sinister is, right?
And guess who the other one is?
Crystal?
Cursed.
Cursed with Curiosity? Oh, wow. You're not going to tell me they're not all working together? Cher is one of two mods of Sinister. That crazy lady who is always comes on drunk and high, who has a boyfriend that was just went to jail for drugs that she lied about. While they sit there over there and accuse us of being on drugs when she comes on high, nodding out and stuff. Yeah, that's Cher's, like, one of her biggest supporters. And she wants to be taken seriously. And Ryan's hanging out with these people. Like, birds of a feather, guys. I only see Fred doing better and better, getting better and better and better. I just see them, all them, like, getting worse and worse and worse, digging themselves deeper and deeper into this, into that. I don't know. I don't want to be any part of that. Even if everybody turns on me, I will still stand for what I know to be the truth. Even if, no matter how many of them want to come against me and try to make me feel bad or feel like a horrible person, for the most petty of things, no matter how much they do that, I'm always going to stand by what I feel is the truth, no matter what. And still to this day, if I ever, the reason why I support Fred so much is because it's by years. It is not something overnight. I mean, I've seen how things have unraveled over time, and the stuff he said to me, and how it's always seemed to be true, but it doesn't happen with the other ones. Like, there's always things that, I don't remember what I was driving, or just, you guys know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to sit here and think of every single thing, but they just want to say, Fred's a liar, has all these stories, but they don't, and then they'll make up stuff like Fred said Andy was driving the red truck. No, he didn't. And then they won't show any type of proof of it. Why? Because it never fucking happened. She was still sending ass shots to fucking Dawn Wells, and then tried to act like she was showing her tattoos, guys. Come on. Like, we don't know what you're doing. You're basically prostituting yourself to these freaking weirdos in order just to get for clicks and views. That's what you're doing. You're selling yourself in order to, I would love to see, I bet anything she probably sent pictures to Chris Watts too, and I bet it. Like, who does that? Oh yeah, we're going to just send our ass shots to Dawn Wells and act like it's showing a tattoo. Please. You knew what you were doing. You did that on purpose to get Dawn to be into you, and because you knew he's a sex weirdo. You know that. You know he's a pervert. So you knew how you could use that to your advantage. You don't like me because I call out your bullshit. I see the evil in you. But really, guys, you think none of these people make any difference in my life? And I don't care what they have to say, you know. If this is all I'm going to freaking talk about, she'll probably use this for weeks on end. Why doesn't one use a cartoon for her face? Because she doesn't want you to know who she is. Because that would blow her cover. I need to get the law enforcement to look into who is all behind these like accounts. If we could do that, that would probably if there's this way to somehow now, hopefully law enforcement is listening to this. Like you say, they're watching me. Well, I hope they are. Because I have been following this since, I've been living it. So I think they should look into all the people behind these accounts. I think it would say a lot. I really do. Because certain ones, like innocent till proven guilty, cursory curiosity, especially innocent till proven guilty. If they found out who that was, it would make a lot of sense. Just like and Curse with Curiosity. I feel like they're all working together for the Wells. They're very close to the situation. Innocent until proven guilty is not from New Zealand. She's just she's changing her area and her settings. It's not hard to do. You can change what currency it shows up as on YouTube. Also, voice changers are it's very simple these days. I don't even know about her really even. People say she's been on a panel before, but I don't know. I don't watch those channels that she would be on anyways. She just doesn't want people to know who she is. That's the truth. Because she's not confident at all in what she's saying, and she knows that her whole cover would be blown if she came on here and showed herself. Because it would show her motive all along. And it would show years of them all collaborating together to try to change public opinion. She was real worried about me finding her who she was when I struck her the other day. Curse with Curiosity. So I hear. Through the grapevine, I'll just say, she was scared that I somehow could figure out who she was through that strike. She uploaded my freaking video as her own. The whole thing was my video. I'm from Antarctica. But it'd be very weird because innocent until proven guilty has been around since the beginning of the case. Like, it'd be very odd for her to be all the way from New Zealand, but I guess it's possible. Like, I remember her pretty much from my first chat. I know half of them lost their kids, use drugs, and I'm sure they say they are sober now. So why be so judgmental and why can't? Yeah, I don't know. Most of them are currently using. Most of them have a bunch of issues and bullshit in their life because they can't focus on their own lives. They can't take accountability for their own shit. Cher could probably be a really good person if she would change just a little bit. I can see that she could be a good person. There's certain ones that have hope and certain ones that don't. 6 Up is one that probably will never change. But you can tell because of how obsessive somebody is and how big somebody's ego is and how horrible their lives are, living in their child's driveway with a circle jerk. Yeah, their lives are like. So yeah, no, it's all just a effort by them all together. That's why they've all been going live one after another. Cher will go live one day, Chris will go live the next, and we'll have Crystal every day, of course. Sinister will come in. They just go back and forth. You got Carrie Moody putting out a bunch of bullshit that doesn't even make sense. Like it really doesn't. When you guys watch it, you can tell. Like anybody who knows anything about this case, you can tell what they're doing. No, they won't. Because they're worried of getting the type of hate that I get. They know if Curse with Curiosity knows
behind that avatar.
Huh?
That's why they hide behind that avatar.
Yeah. Curse knows that her life is, I mean, I guarantee it, she will not show who she is and her house and, no. She won't, because it will totally, her mask would fall off. It would show her life was in shambles, like every other person that hates on the internet 24/7. I mean, how can you have anything if you just are so negative all the time and just worried about everybody else? All I'm doing is trying to mind my business and do the next right thing. And if I feel like we can help in Summer Wells' case at all, and if we I might email law enforcement. I've emailed them. That's another thing too. They were saying, like, I just harass law enforcement 24/7, and I am so against that, guys. That is absolutely so far from the truth. For one, I've never called law enforcement in this case, ever. I've never called any TBI or Hawkins, ever, that I can remember. I emailed TBI, the TBI tip line, like 6 or 7 times. It's in the 3.5 years this has been going on, guys. I'm not one of those that sit there. They're the ones, it's funny because they're the ones sitting there sending dumb shit to like law enforcement, like my Pruitt reading. Like that's somehow supposed to be scary to me.
90% of them that sent tips in, they ain't had no response from SY or nothing, At least we got a response back.
Yeah, I mean, I've sent in about 6 or 7 emails, and I got the one response back. They called me. I did not reach out to them. If I send them something that of interest that they need to ask me about, they'll contact me, guys.
And evidently, it must feel it was important.
They make a resin straw for that nose candy. Yeah, on their new resin table, which is great. I think it's great. That's right up her husband's alley, probably. He's a Pisces. They're very creative. But don't sit here and freaking talk shit about me, share 24/7 every day. But you seem to freaking do a lot of shit that I do. I don't know why you have to freaking talk so much shit. I don't talk shit about you. The only time you come up, I mean, if you come up in conversation, I don't sit here and just like go live about you randomly like you do, making these lives like about me. I wish I could strike their channel, country girl. It's not like that easy. You can't just strike it like that. I wish it was. If people want to help me, this is what you do is if you see somebody playing my content and you want to help me, and you can just tell me, okay, so I don't have to freaking go through it because I don't want to sit there and listen to the shit they talk. Okay, if you tell me the timestamps in their video that they're using, you need to find, where they're playing my content for a long period of time straight. Give me the timestamps of that video, their link, the link from my video, and the timestamps from my video they're using, because it's way too much work for me to do all that. But if you're already watching and you are really wanting me to do that, I will do it. But I need to, if you want to help in that way, that's like a huge help. If you get the timestamps and the link from the video, and the timestamps have to match the timestamps on my video it came from. See, I mean, you have to do it like that. It's not as easy as people think. Like, Six Up knows I don't want to sit there and listen to her freaking raspy 3 packs of cigarettes a day demon voice. So she sits there and does this shit. And plus, she'll like, she got her channel taken. One of the strikes was from me. But then what she does is like something about like, if you don't take them to court, then they get their channel back or something. I don't know. I wouldn't know because my channel's never been at risk for being taken because I don't do the bullshit that these channels do. Yeah, or if you want to, if you see a channel, like you can always hit the report button and hit like misinformation or bullying or whatever you think is going on. But it's definitely when you have a group of people who are orchestrating together to try to make Fred and I look a certain way for reasons, it doesn't make sense. Like, because we're truly trying to help. In the Summer Wells case, and I can't help it. Fred can't help it that he is the one that saw Andy on the road that day. It could have been anybody, but Fred was the one that saw him. And so now you guys are mad because Fred told law enforcement what he saw, even though it's on camera. They have him on camera, guys. It doesn't matter. Like, he's going down either way. It doesn't matter. They're just buying time at this point. Have you guys see how long these things take? Some of these cases like take 5 years before you get like any type of charges. That seems to be about, we're getting up there. So I'm sure some of these people are getting scared. It doesn't, and I just don't understand. They think like, you guys think that we're that powerful that you guys can shutting us up is just going to stop Andy from going to prison or what? Because the world still turns even if you shut me and Fred up. He still was on the road. He still was on camera. It doesn't change it. Fred said he was on the road. All these other people said they were on the road. They live on the road. He gave his cameras over. He talked to law enforcement the same night and got a recorder off of him the same night to record mainly Don Wells. and all the people hanging out down there, but mainly Don is what they were really interested in, and they want to know about his they thought he had sold her for a debt, or there was some kind of drugs involved. So if people would pay attention and listen, the story has been the same the whole time. It's never changed. It's just a bunch of people, these other channels that are working so hard to try to make it seem like Fred's a liar and you shouldn't listen to him. But whether we listen to Fred or not, the truth is the truth. And it was recorded on camera. So obviously, we're not too worried about Fred being on the fucking road. We talk about it every day. He lived there. That's where he was supposed to be. Andy was the one that was out, not supposed to be all the way down there. He didn't live down there. What was Andy doing all the way down Ben Hill Road? He was way past where his house was.
On a dead end road.
Yeah, what was he doing down there? It's the question. I just don't get why they don't want answers for Summer Wells and why they aren't freaking working with me to figure that out. I don't understand why Cher hasn't messaged me and being like, why don't we freaking figure this out? You know? But no, she always has to be on the wrong side. Always. I since the beginning, I've tried to get people to, it wasn't just all about me and or Ziggy getting the spotlight. It was trying to get you other creators too to freaking have some balls and go out there and talk to Fred and other people down there. But none of you guys did it. It's not my fault that you didn't put any weight into Fred Hill and it seems like he was being honest all along and now you're mad. It's not my fucking fault. Why don't you learn from it and move on? It's all about Summer Wells, a 5-year-old little girl who went missing. It's not about all this confusion that you guys want to put out there. It's a bunch of bullshit. And, you know, I think it's funny how a lot of these people have been able to try to make it seem like, all this bullshit and confusion is coming from Ziggy. You know, because they got a whole bunch of people together, a whole bunch of horrible, low-life people together. Many of them who are trying to cover for people like Andy Bernard, his family, and people close to him. And they just got a whole bunch of people together and so they could dog whistle and make me look like this horrible person. And like, oh, it's Ziggy that is putting out all this misinformation in Summer's case. But show me any proof of anything these people are saying. If you come in here and you email me or talk, show me video, send me video of what you're talking about Fred saying Andy was driving the red truck. You won't find that anywhere.
No.
You won't find Fred saying that anywhere. Fred's memory is insane, guys. Now, my memory sucks. Like, I might have repeated something wrong myself. I'm not perfect. None of us are. But some of you bitches all think you are for some reason. Being all judgy over there while you have animal abuse convictions. Like, really? It reminds me so much of that Bible verse about one pointing at you when you got 3 pointing at yourself, or pointing a finger at somebody else and you have 3 pointing back, or something like that. Or taking the stick it out one eye. What are you talking about? Diamonds and pearls? You didn't have a problem with Cher when you were going over there talking about your fake foster family contact. She asked me to go over there. I was asked to go there, Diamonds and Pearls. I will work with anybody who will be a decent person if they're decent to me. What are you talking about? I've never been somebody that wouldn't get along with others. Ever. So, oh yeah, see, now they want to make it sound like I'm crazy, delusional, and this stuff's not really happening. Like, I'm not really seeing this happen. That just proves my point right there. As far as if you're decent to me, I'm going to be decent to you. And she just keeps like putting out this shit to try to get my attention. Like, what am I supposed to? Oh, I didn't have a problem with Cher. Did you see the shit she's posting about me? Like, of course I have something. I'm gonna have something to say. She's been trying to get my attention. You're mad because I'm responding? You're mad because like I'm just putting out fact, the truth, to her lies? Person I've never seen before nor know? They keep coming in here like, oh, like they never have any, oh, you never had a problem? What? Are you talking about 3 years ago when I was on her panel? 3 years ago. I'm sorry that I tried to get along with her. That was years ago. Why wouldn't I be decent to somebody? Or she asked me to be on her panel and I accepted. And then guess what she did? Never again, because I shared with her private information. And what'd she do? She harassed the lady to fucking death, like where she had to change her phone number. Which has never been proven as a fake either. You're the one saying it's a fake. That's never been proven a fake either. You just want to, I mean, these people are just putting out false info. Yeah, it's gaslighting. Seriously, that was like 3 years ago when I was on her panel. I can't believe these people. You didn't have a problem 3 years ago when you were on her panel. What? I sound delusional? You sound fucking dumb, dude. Well, you didn't have a problem 3 fucking years ago. I'm sorry. Never was on her panel again after that either, because it was that situation that really showed me what kind of person she was. It was really dirty what she did. I shared with her private text with me and this lady, and she had her phone number in the text that I forgot to redact. Cher gave that phone number out and harassed the lady non-fucking stop. I'm not even joking, guys. Constant. Where she had to change her number. She started calling her freaking work and having a bunch of people harass her. So I wouldn't have a sourcing where she didn't want me to have, she was so jealous. Oh yeah, just because you make up fake scenarios with these people behind scenes does not mean I do that. You're always going to have, no matter what part, I can't help if somebody, every single one of us in this community has fallen victim to somebody giving us information that is not 100%. That's why we always say it. Why I always say that it is Alleged. That's why I always say this is alleged and not fact, because unfortunately there's these losers like Cher who have no integrity, who will do anything for $1, so, or a view or attention, and they'll put out false information just to get that attention. So she thinks that because she does it, that everybody must do it. But unfortunately, yeah, we all have fallen victim. All of those creators have fallen victim at some point to somebody giving us some information that's not 100% correct. That's why you don't put it out as fake. You say it's speculative or a theory. Duh, how you can't you can't 100% fact check everything somebody says. You want to hope that somebody's being honest when it comes to a 5-year-old missing girl. But unfortunately, because of that and what I've witnessed and seen, I will never freaking do another child case. I guarantee you will, though, Cher. And you'll be on the wrong side of the tracks again. So I don't know what I think it's funny that people get mad that I'm respond to some type of bullshit, judgmental shit that Cher of all people are going to put out. Probably because somebody asked her to, or because she's on part of some kind of group to try to make us look a certain way. She's always been a part of these really dirty schemes and stuff, constant. She has a reputation for it since the beginning. So, Cher grifted money for teeth, a marriage, and to get Canada from Minnesota, and grifted to go to Georgia for Quentin Simon. And after getting the money, made up some bullshit excuse why she never went. Yep. The Sixer has been Jillian Jewels. What's that mean? Yeah, and Pink Lotus, wasn't her child like still underage? Wasn't her children or one of her children still underage when she left to Canada? And then she let us send people in here and have something to say about me and Fred. I mean, she has some freaking goal. Obviously, no shame. I mean, obviously, sending naked pictures of Don Wells, if that didn't tell you that, then I don't know what else will. Oh, I'm sorry, not naked, but suggestive. I seriously would not be surprised if she sends naked pictures. Yeah, and they never talk about her grifting, but she's like one of the worst there is. Oh, Jules crafting. Okay. Oh, geez. So that's pretty much all I have to say about all that, and will say about her, because these people are not worth my time. But seeing that, I feel like I just don't understand. I don't understand why somebody can be so cruel and heartless to try to sabotage Summerwell's justice. You've literally heard that Andy Bernard was on the road and you won't accept it. You want to deflect from that. You're not asking questions. You should be being like, why did you lie to us? We need an explanation. Fred's already gave his explanation. Now it's Andy Bernard's turn. Oh, yeah, Dawn the panty sniffer, right? All her 4 kids were, and she still has 2 minor children. Are you serious? Wow. I can't with these people. I cannot. It worked. You're good, TJ. Thank you. I appreciate you. Carrie. Yeah, I'm not gonna waste my time too much on it or raise my blood pressure. I just think it's sad, guys. It really is, especially at this point, as much like you would think. I mean, I would have to be one freaking genius in order to make up this whole story about law enforcement and Fred working for him and, keeping that all together this whole time and it not being unraveled. The only thing that's unraveled is them saying, them trying to act like it didn't happen. Don't you think something would have something would have contradicted it by now? Besides naysayers. I mean, look at all the stuff that contradicts things that Andy, Jody Sue, Dawn, and Candace say. There's a million different smoke signals and red flags when it comes to those 4. Husband a freak if I said another man knows pics. Andy, who supposedly sold drugs to 8 kids, is who they defend. I know. And they can act like they won't address it. It's a huge red flag that these people are just for some reason refusing to recognize. What's more important, your ego or Summer Wells?
There you go.
Yeah, their ego. They've proven that over and over again. It's about their ego. It's constantly about their ego. Constant. Oh, but we're Summerwell's army, right? No, you're not. You're Cher's army or PG's army or freaking etc., etc. Jody Sue's army. You guys are not for Summerwell's at all. You're for your money's army. You're for the clicks and views. You're the one, Cher, taking in all these fucking fundraisers all the time and GoFundMe's. I've never had one of those ever. So you really have some nerve. I know, right? Yeah, that does not happen. I wouldn't want a husband that would want me sending pictures like that to somebody else. That's weird. But
they're like Mary Scott sending them ice tattoo pictures.
All right, guys. I'll talk to you later. I might be back.